Sometimes the English language is hard. As we brainstorm some of the key tools that we want you to have in your counselor tool belt, one of the phrases that came up was relationship precedes ministry. However, what I was thinking, and apologies to my high school English teacher, was precedes ministry. Here's the difference. The word precede means to go before or to come first. Proceed, the one we want, means to move forward or to go with. As camp counselors, it is wildly important that you look at relationship with your kiddos as something that goes with ministry and moves it forward. My connection to the kids and families that I get to do life with is valuable not because of what I can teach them or how they feel about me, but because it models Jesus and moves his mission forward. Relationship should absolutely be a priority, and I encourage you to find ways to connect with each camper. But if your relationship with them takes priority over God's relationship with them, if it precedes ministry, then we need to step back and recenter. I'll be honest, sometimes that's hard for me. I really love to be loved. Sometimes it means that I have to say the hard thing or set boundaries that I don't want to set. But if it takes the focus off of me and it puts it on Jesus, then I'm game. Build relationships with your campers by telling stories about your life that uplift and encourage, by inviting them to tell their stories, and by just straight having fun together. Don't worry, they're gonna love you. How do I know? Because you have Holy Spirit in you and are showing them Jesus. When relationship goes with ministry, God walks us into opportunities to speak truth and hope into kids' lives. Put on Holy Spirit lenses and be on the lookout for doors that will be propped open all over the place. When feelings get hurt, remind kids of the truth of who Jesus says they are. When you have to have a hard discipline conversation, tell them of the more that God has for their life. When a kid does something awesome, point out the gifts that God has given them and the ways that they are embracing their calling. The relationships that we build with them give us a rapport that gives our words meaning. And let's be real. Kids think counselors are the coolest, even if they don't always act like it. You know you remember those counselors that you just wanted to be exactly like when you grew up. Be the kind of counselor that makes your past camper self proud. Have intentional conversations. Be led by the Holy Spirit. Let relationship precede ministry.
One of the toughest parts about being a camp counselor is knowing all the answers to all questions and situations. The good thing is, although campers may sometimes think otherwise, we do not expect you to know everything. Many times throughout the week, perhaps even during some small group time, campers can ask some really tough questions. Or sometimes you may find campers and/or counselors in a situation that requires special attention or alternative methods for resolution. In these particular situations, please feel free to refer to a next level leader. A next level leader could be a pastor or the camp director for the week. It is better for you to get help if you do not know the answer or if you do not know how to effectively resolve the situation. If you do not know the answer to a tough question, your best response is, I don't know, but I can try to find that answer for you. Know who your leadership is at camp. Your director and other leaders are there for you for your support.
Hey counselors, my name is Katherine Schaefer, and I just wanted to remind you that for some of our campers, it is their very first night away from home. So something to remember is when you have campers that are experiencing lots of anxiety or homesickness, try to help them make a friend or get involved in a game. Maybe it's a craft. It could be a simple conversation about their favorite sport or video game. Kids really need to feel comfortable and safe. So remind them about all the ways that we try to make Camp Lebanon safe for everyone. So we have counselors, nurses, security team, cabin leaders, all kinds of stuff. And you know what? Other times, kids just miss mom and dad. So you may meet a child that really wants to call home. Be sure that information goes straight to a camp director or nurse. At Camp Lebanon, we've made a commitment to parents and guardians that if there's anything we need to communicate to them while their child is at camp, it will be from our nurse or our directors. Our directors are trained and comfortable having those awkward conversations with parents, so let them be in charge of contacting home when it's necessary, even if it's a child from your own ministry or church. And lastly, if you notice a camper that's starting to feel anxious or homesick, be sure to pass that information on to a camp director, even if they're not asking to go home yet. We want to be proactive about helping kids make camp a great experience. So if we have a camper that's not having a great experience, we want to know about it as soon as possible so we can do our part too.
As a camp counselor, it is inevitable that you will have to deal with disruptive behaviors. Keep in mind that our campers come from all types of homes and backgrounds, and often their behaviors reflect their home environments. The main key to discipline is viewing it as a corrective action rather than a punishment. A camper may not be able to distinguish the difference, but your approach is easily detected. Therefore, clear and effective communication in a loving manner is key when dealing with disruptive or poor behavior. Here are some other keys when disciplining a camper. Number one, counselors should make the director aware of any misbehavior or disciplinary actions. Number two, no physical disciplinary actions will be administered. This also includes threatening physical disciplinary actions. Camp should always be thought of from a camper's point of view as a safe place, not a place of threats, hurt, or fear. Number three, for campers that demonstrate a pattern of misbehavior, try rewarding that camper for good behavior. Number four, if the problem camper is creating issues among other campers, it may be necessary to isolate the problem camper for an appropriate amount of time. Number five, restrict activities or withhold privileges. Number six, communicate love and acceptance of the person and communicate why the discipline is being enforced. Many times, misbehavior is a product of lack of love and acceptance. Number seven, get help from a next level leader. Number eight, do not allow a single camper to ruin the experience for the entire group. And finally, number nine, campers may view a lack of disapproval as approval. You should not let a small problem grow into a larger problem.